Show. This is the Big O 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 Show.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new 2025 RDX for $19 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 Acura MDX during our 17th anniversary sale.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new Acura ZDX, $439 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard. We are coming to you live from Toyota of Hollywood, where they have the Coliseum here. You don't need to go to Rome anymore. Why go to Rome? Why go to Rome? Stay here, come to Toyota of Hollywood, and we've got the Coliseum. They made the Coliseum out of balloons here. And not like a little one, like a ginormous one. Like we could actually have fights in it. It's pretty amazing. Anyway, we are, of course, man, I woke up in such a great mood. Caspa's blown up. Star Atlas is blowing up. Ethereum's looking to make an all-time high. Bitcoin hits 122, flirting now with an all-time high also. Solana over $200. Like, there's a lot of really good news. You know what I'm saying? And then Dolphin practice hits you, and then you find out about Chop Robinson. Oh, my God. I mean, we can't overreact yet. The man was carted off, but it's really confusing with the Dolphins. Because Jalen Phillips has a messed up knee, and they tell him, "No, hey, we'll put a brace on it. You go back in there. Don't worry, but you'll be fine." And then he blows out his knee. And then we had a running back this weekend, broken neck, and hey, just walk off the field. So I don't know how to take it. Maybe when you get carted off, maybe you only have a sprain. Maybe, just maybe. You know, you're pulling a what was the name of the basketball dude that's an idiot and has a hate for Dwayne Wade and LeBron James for the Celtics that got carted off in the wheelchair?
Paul Pierce?
Paul Pierce. Maybe this is a Paul Pierce. They cart him off, but he's going to be all right. I hope. I hope.
There was one that put in that it is quite a long walk back to where the Bear, like wherever their training facility is. It's not like ours where.
But they could just put a brace on it like they did with Phillips and just get back in there.
Yeah, you could.
Or, hey, put a brace on and walk your ass back to the trainer room back there. That's it.
Then we find out it's a
broken neck. Hey, dude.
Walk it off.
Walk it off, baby. Broken neck, walk it off. And Jalen Phillips, you're injury prone. Oh, you're hobbling. Here's a brace. Go back into the game. You'll be all right. Don't worry. Here, I got the spray from soccer. Go ahead, Jalen. You're back in. So I can't tell you because when I think about how injuries are handled at times, I'm not exactly sure, dude. I don't know how to predict it. So I really don't know what's going to happen. I just got to pray for the best like the rest of you out there. By the way, Shedeur Sanders also injured his oblique in practice today, and he'll be reevaluated. So we shall find out. Injuries. Yes, Huntley is the backup over there. Yes. Yeah, he's probably Flacco is healthy. But they're obviously they gotta like kind of, pace old man Flacco. Flacco only needs to play the what's it called, the dress rehearsal game, really. And then that's it. It's over. They got to keep the old man upright. I mean, it's just I'm a strong believer that if you don't hit in football, you don't stay healthy. And we have gone completely the other way in football where they don't hit enough. And then when you're hitting, this is why you're going to break a lot. So I'm bigger on being more of a physical team in practice and all of that. But practices aren't physical, and especially Dolphin practices definitely aren't physical enough. I've been to Dolphin practices. They're soft as hell. But, yeah. Injury epidemic, not pandemic, LOL, says Vishal. And welcome aboard, everybody. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Let's go. All right. You got over 130 right now, only 35 likes. Please, please, please smash the hell out of the like button. And, of course, you can also make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, and Solana donation, which, by the way, again, I was also very pumped because Chainlink also pumped too. You know, it's like really good news on the crypto side. And then I got to get this Dolphin news. Yes, sir. What do you got?
No, I was going to say this is what I think is probably going to be a running theme the whole season. Travis Wingfield.
Yes.
Wingfield, yeah.
I know what you're going to read. Go ahead. Go. Go get Goffy on me, not Goofy, but get Goffy.
No, he said thoughts. Miami's D matched the physicality of the Lions, but Goff and St. Brown were basically perfect. They didn't get much on the ground, but Goff was throwing handoffs, and St. Brown catches everything.
Right. Yeah, I saw him. Goff was sharp. I saw Travis Wingfield where Goff was sharp, and I'm like, well, bro, it's our secondary.
But I think that's going to be what our issue is this whole year.
Whole year.
The physicality, but if they can get the ball out quick enough and little handoff type passes.
Don't we do that against everybody else?
Yeah, but
so they're going to do that against us. We have no secondary, so everybody knows that they're going to have to either send the house or get the pass rushers have to get to the quarterback, and so they're going to find people quickly, and we don't have a secondary. I don't know how you overcome that, ladies and gentlemen. I get, I'm not the guy, dude. I will tell you when I love something, I love it, but I'm not going to make stuff up. Okay. And it's going to be a rough one, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a rough one this year with that secondary. It's going to be really, really, really tough. Let's just hope whatever Chop was carted off for had to have been some kind of lower body injury, right? I would imagine if you were carted off. Well, I don't know. You should be carted off for a neck injury. Walk your ass off, bitch. So, I don't know. We'll see. Nobody's really said what Chop's injury is. You know why? Because they didn't see it. They didn't have an angle, and they didn't see it happen exactly. They just saw after that he went to the ground, and then they're checking him, and then they take him off the stretcher. Do we have one? What do we have?
Minka feels a crosser coming his way, cuts it off. Goff saw him, released the ball uncharacteristically way behind incomplete. Then Minka breaks up another pass, but Sealer and Grant had already collapsed for the sack ahead of the throw. So people that were worried about Grant getting his name mentioned, there you go. Grant's being mentioned.
Grant, Phillips, and Biggers were good picks. They solved their D tackle problem. With Sealer and those three guys, I really like what's coming. Okay, I like these young guys that they got in the deep part of the draft, and Grant's going to be a player, dude. I'm good with that. It's just other things that we have to worry about, ladies and gentlemen. The depth on the offensive line. Can some of the guys in the offensive line, like Austin Jackson, stay healthy? Because he's kind of now like injury prone, and that's a problem. That secondary is going to be a problem. I see D. Eskridge is also having a good practice today, and they kind of need, outside of Tyreek and Waddle, they need other guys to kind of play well, and so we've had Taj and Malik playing well, the Washington boys, and it's good to see D. Eskridge. So these are kind of the guys that are going to be rounding out the rest of your wide receiving core. These are issues that we got to worry about. So hopefully that'll happen. Julian Hill got a good play against Grant Stewart. He made a play over the top, but then he drops another one. So it's very Julian Hill. Meanwhile, Darren Waller's hanging out doing nothing absolutely whatsoever. Nyborg is in. Looks like I picked the wrong week to stop drinking Night Train wine. Yep. I'm with you there. Forces of Randomness, James Vivinetti. Afternoon to all of you out there. Yes, sir.
Marcel Louis-Jacques put out ESPN's E. Woodyard reports the injury appeared to occur during a scramble for a loose ball, talking about Chop Robinson.
Okay.
So just, I don't know, again, don't know where that leads to, but.
Right. So it could be anywhere, the injury. We'll see. Again, we can't overreact. We're all hurting because we're Dolphin fans. So any bad news is just like horrible for all of us.
But we really got to kind of pause and wait to find out what real injury it is. Maybe it's not so serious. You know what I'm saying? So let's just kind of, cross our fingers and hope for the best. That's really the only thing we can do. By the way, we are here at 1841 North State Road 7, right on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. The Camry LE right now, sedan. You can get it for $299, 0 down right now. Got over 1,200 new cars. Got 2,000 cars overall. Got a ton of vehicles, whether it's the Camry, whether it's the Tundra, whether you're looking for a Prius. The new Priuses are freaking awesome, folks. Come on out here. Check it out at Toyota of Hollywood. It is a ginormous dealership. By the way, this is the kind of place that even when you bring your kids, a process takes you a little bit. Well, the kids will be entertained here, man. It's pretty cool. And sometimes they have performers out here doing all kinds of different stuff, from musicians, balloon artists, all kinds of stuff. Even, schmucks doing sports talk shows and stuff like that. All kinds of stuff out here. There's a couple of restaurants, couches, so you can relax. Or if you're getting your car serviced, the folks here at Toyota of Hollywood will take care of you. Herbie Lopez runs a tight ship, dude, and it is an amazing place. I've never seen a dealership like this. It's like a super mall for cars. And so if you are looking for a Toyota, you can come on down here and make sure you're going to get a large selection of whatever model you're looking for. So you can pick the car you want, the style you want, the model you want, the color you want. But more importantly, the price you want. So come on out here at Toyota of Hollywood. All right. Skylar Tipton there. Super Boom Shack. Zuko, thank you out there. Brett Dodger, thank you. Cleveland Penn. I need to take a look at this training staff with all these injuries. It's football, yeah, man. It's just either bad luck or good luck. And if you're not physical enough, it will wear on you. And I think that's something that's been a problem for the Dolphins for decades now. Miami Made says another mediocre Miami Dolphins season, horrible coaching, injuries, and new head coach hiring soon. Thank you, Panthers and Zito, for saving South Florida sports. I feel bad for Tua. I feel bad for Tua, too, because he's got a shitty coach, and he doesn't have the offense that he needs around him in order to really, be elite. So they can't block and they can't run. That's going to be a problem. Good morning to you, One-Eyed Jack, Dolphin Dave. Dolphins are getting worse by the day. It's a shame because we had a good team in 23 and 24. Yeah, just the wrong head coach. Exactly. And this team is way behind that. Let's see. Yeah. And Miami Mike, don't remind me of Vrabel. Okay. What else? Brooklyn Rob in the house. What's up, baby? McDaniel loves to bubble wrap his players during a complete disservice to them by not prepping them for a 17-game regular season. Yeah, but it's also been a problem for a while, even before McDaniel. It's kind of been an issue that this team has been soft for a long time. Long time. So, can someone turn off the injury option? That would be a good button to turn off here for a Dolphin season. I used to be angry when the Finns lost. Now I'm apathetic. I know. To me, the injury parts bother me, right? If they're not going to be good, well, I'm not expecting much of a season anyway, guys. So I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you people. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. You guys know that. I don't do that. Okay? I call it like I see it. I think the Canes are going to have a great season. I think the Panthers are going to have a great season. I don't think the Dolphins or the Heat are going to have great seasons. Okay? Sorry. What can I tell you? I know the fans, oh, my God, you're ruining the season for me before. But I'm sorry. What can I do? I want to have a great season. It's up to them, not us. It's not up to you. It's not up to me. We don't control any of this, dude. We don't control the injuries. We don't control the coaching. We don't control the decisions. We don't control anything. And that's the sad part, that we're kind of in a place where we can't help. It really we're just spectators and supporters and hoping for the best, and that's what we do. Hey, look, the Panthers were incompetent, soft. A lot of the characteristics that the Dolphins have, the Panthers had it exactly, and they got rid of it. And it's up to not us. For 20 years, we kept talking about how soft the Panthers were and how phony they were, that whenever they would make the playoffs, what would they do? Get embarrassed. Kind of reminds you of a football team. Same thing. It's up to them. It's not up to us. So don't take it personal. Don't take it out on your radio host or your writer or whoever has the balls to actually, be honest about what's going on. Not be a homer, somebody that covers the team and goes out of their way to agree with Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins that Waller should be held out and not put in by now. And by the way, giving him the excuse and the out that, oh, no, I don't want to start him with scrimmages when you were a couple weeks ago weren't scrimmaging and you had plenty of time to get him out there. You agree with the coach, then you have no place in this business because you can't be objective. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have to call things like we see it. And that's what we do here on the show. We have the pom-poms. We're rooting for you, but we're not blindly rooting for you. If you're doing something wrong, we're going to say it. It's a shame. It's a shame. But it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's just bad luck. And we got to hope one day the Dolphins figure it out like the Panthers did and made hockey here now respectable and tough. Tough. By the time we get the O-line fixed and get a new head coach, etc., these players will be gone. Well, I think the new head coach will be a couple of months from now. Within a few weeks, you'll have a new head coach. So, it's right around the corner. Have some faith. Jay Bird is in the house. Let's go. He says 160 viewers, less than 60 likes. That's right. 185 viewers now and only 59 likes. Please smash the hell out of the like button. Por favor. Thank you, Jay Bird. Thank you. You guys, like in an instant, can get us right over 100. Because easily, you get us to 180 easily, but get us over the 100 already. Let's go. 41. Let's go. Hit it. Hit that like button, man. Let's go. I know, Jonathan. I can't wait for hockey season. I can't wait for the Canes. And I don't know if Inter will get it done, but, I don't know if those of you like soccer, you got a shot there too. You know what I'm saying? Some things in our town are pretty good overall, but our Dolphins and our Miami Heat, the Miami Heat are completely lost. The Dolphins, it's just rough, man. Rough all around for us. Just is. Yahoo Sports says injury is unclear, but it appears he was favoring his arm or shoulder. Who said that? Sibley, who said that? That's what I want to know. I need a real specific reporter, a name, somebody credible. I don't want some slappy just throwing it out there. You know what I'm saying? So, what else? 32 years, been a fan for 20 years and have absolutely nothing to make it worse. I'm so invested in every year. Talk about a toxic relationship. LOL. Dude, I'm older than you. At least the only good thing for us older people is that we saw the good times. We saw the great times and the really good times. What's happening in the last 25 years, it's so mediocre, the football that's been going on. It's really pathetic. 30 years, actually. Really. From Jimmy Johnson on till now, it's been really pathetic and mediocre and embarrassing. Every moment is so embarrassing, dude. Every big moment that you try to be in, you get thoroughly embarrassed. It hurts. It hurts. I know. The only thing I would tell you is Get a little Bitcoin because that's a team that won't let you down. Not that I'm a financial advisor, but I can say something about that I was talking since it was at 16,000 and we're at 120. So I think I'm all right with that. I think I can do that. What do we have? Ethereum at 47.28, 47.30. Ethereum looking to go for an all-time high. Look out. If it can get to 4,800, we are at an all-time high. It's like 47.77 or 80 or something is the all-time high for Ethereum. So we are on the brink of that. And as for Bitcoin, where are we at right now? We are at 121,709. That's what I'm telling you. You join those other teams that we've been talking about, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you had your lulls, and now you have your highs. And it's a beautiful thing. So, just in case. By the way, on the Ethereum front, you know what's impressive? In the last month, Ethereum is up 56%, dude. 56% in the last month. That's pretty freaking awesome. So, just in case, there you go. Little Ethereum action for you. What else do we have? Blame owner Ross. He's the common denominator in all these horrible coaching decisions from Gase, Philbin, Flo, McDaniel, etc. We passed up too many good coaches: Vrabel, Sean Payton, Dan Campbell, etc. Super Boomshek says, I was at the last playoff win in 2000. Maybe I'm the curse. No, dude, you're not. Super Boomshek, none of you are the curse. None of that crap. Okay? It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not any of our faults. They'll figure it out one day, and we just got to hope that we're all still around for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the more I think about it, the more it scares me. It's like, okay, that was my time, and that's it. When I was a child, I was 7 and 8 years old when we won the Super Bowls, and I'm never going to really experience it like an adult, because at 7 or 8, you don't appreciate it, dude. I remember it, but I don't appreciate it. I don't savor it the same way as I would if I was a teenager in my 20s or now. My God, after everything I've been through, I don't know. I think I'd cry for like 4 days if we won the Super Bowl. It's rough. It's rough. It's a rough one. You got any other news coming out? We've got Chop Robinson carted off. Zach Wilson threw 2 interceptions. One was deflected, so wasn't his fault completely. Julian Hill had a good play, then had a bad play. Beat the Grant Stewart guy for a big play, and then dropped another one when he was open. No Jalen Phillips, no Mo Kamara, Ashton Davis. Brian Matos is expected. Andrew Meyer. Keon Smith, I would like to have seen him there, but that sucks that he suffered the injury. Alec Ingold as expected. Austin Jackson as expected. So a lot of these guys you expected, but Keon would be one that I really would like, because he needs the work, and he's coming back from that knee injury, and he has looked immobile compared to how he was before. Cam Good, by the way, picked up a sack on Hooker. So that also went. Stewart did take down Ollie Gordon. And like Joe Shad's like, oh my God, this guy. And I'm like, bro, this is football. Dude, respond. Yeah.
It looks like Jordan Phillips is having a good segment right now.
I love all three guys.
He's been stacking up the center, and so it's been pretty good segment here for Jordan Phillips, this recent one.
I love it, man. I think Grant, Biggers, and Phillips are all going to be good players for the Dolphins. They look the part. That is pretty cool to watch. They needed the beef, and man, did they get the beef at defensive tackle. And they might have hit on both of the later picks. That's pretty freaking cool. Okay? Pretty cool. Not yet to 100. Let's go. We're at 92. Hit that like button, please.
Ethan Bonner shut down a golf third down throw with textbook coverage on Jameson Williams.
Woo!
Ethan Bonner.
On Jameson Williams.
Let's celebrate, baby.
I like it. I like it.
The ball was 3 yards out of bounds.
Oh. The great white wonder, Ethan Bonner. Big O, obviously you don't know, but is it likely that the system would change the following season once McDaniel gets the pink slips? You answered the question before everything. I have no idea. No idea what's going to go on, dude. You know what I'm saying? I just think that we're headed for a coaching change this year. Yes, sir. And he normally doesn't do it in season. I think this will be the first. Yes.
David Furones sends out a little scuffle in Dolphins-Lions joint practice. Big crowd, so couldn't see for sure who was involved. There had been a few skirmishes on the field where the Dolphins defense went against the Lions offense. Other field, relatively clean.
And that's the one you want to be scuffling. That's
the only reason I said that is because what you said yesterday. The only reason I read that tweet.
I want my offense being nasty. Dude, I've had the defense nasty at times throughout the last 30 years. But we need a nasty offense is what we need. Not a finesse offense. I want to hear about guards playing through the whistles and running people over. I want to hear about tackles out in the open field, like, you know, although there's a play in the preseason game with Patrick Paul. That son of a bitch is out there running like a quarter, like
yeah,
a
he
running
got the
back.
safety. He got the safety down the field.
I'm like, holy shit, this guy's like, oh, that is awesome.
I did want to ask you something.
He's a good athlete, but I want you knocking people out, bro. Yes.
There's one play at the end of the third quarter that Quinn Ewers made that I wish Mike McDaniel would just show over and over to Tua.
Which one was it?
He was getting rushed. He looked around. There was nobody open. He threw it into the first row.
Oh, yeah.
They're stood the ball away.
Yeah.
No, nobody's open. Gone.
Yeah, I saw
I hit
it.
my progressions. Done. Choop, see you later.
And I love it, dude.
I was like, God, I wish he would.
Marino was like that all the time. Marino was an expert at that. There was nothing, wham. It was out of bounds. Boom, out of bounds.
They should open up the quarterback room meeting with that play.
Yeah.
Kudos. Orange jersey for Quinn Ewers.
Yes, definitely. I listen, as I told you guys from the beginning, Quinn Ewers will challenge Zach Wilson for the number 2 spot. Whereas most people were writing and talking about, oh, no, this is all Zach Wilson. That's because he's, the coach's pet. But I would think that Ewers, actually, if you give him a chance, I think he can compete with Zach for time. Now, is either one going to save our seasons? No, because if you can't run and you can't block, it's going to be hard enough for Tua. Forget those guys, So it's really tough. Why would you need a card to get off the field if you're arm or shoulder? Well, think about this, Miami Guns. I guess you weren't listening. What happened to Miami's running back this past weekend? Did he not suffer a neck injury? Bro, they let that guy walk off the field. Yeah, they were holding his head and all that still, and then they let the dude walk off the field with a neck injury that he needed neck surgery. They should have carted his ass off. So maybe it could be an upper level injury. It doesn't have to be lower. Maybe they, for the first time in their lives, they wanted to take precaution. What a concept. You probably didn't listen before. Hey, you remember the day Jalen Phillips went to the sideline limping? How did the Dolphins answer that one? Here's a brace, often injured player. Put it on. Go back out there. You'll be just fine. There, you're fine. Oh, wait. Soccer spray. That's it. And then they send Jalen Phillips back out there. And then what happened? His season was over because he blew out his knee. They avoid that subject, don't they? They don't talk about that subject. because they can't prove his knee was blown out before. And, oh, by the way, what are you going to do? You're going to tell me, oh, his knee was blown out, so we just put on the brace and we still sent him out there. I don't know which one's worse. This is the same team we're talking about. And this weekend, they had a guy with a broken neck and said, yeah, you can walk off the field. Same team. So maybe, just maybe, Chop got injured and somehow the light went on in the training staff and said, hey, let's take precaution here. I don't know. Just saying. Anyway. What else do we have? Eric, thank you, sir, as always, for supporting us. If only we had 4 more Patrick Pauls. Could you imagine the possibilities? That would be nice. That would be nice. True Finn fan in the house. Tua needs to learn how to survive for the next down. I agree, Lenny Pena. Pat in Nashville. Oh, according to the Twitter practice updates, the offense sure sounds nasty, disgusting, or repellent. Oh, man. Too funny. Too funny. Don't forget Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And we are out here at Toyota of Hollywood. So come on out and join us. We'll be out here for a little while. Jalen Ramsey, the former Miami Dolphin, was on the pivot, right? It is. So he was on the pivot, and he was talking about the experience of making the switch and being traded from Miami to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And let me just let you listen to his comments, and then we will discuss said comments.
It was in the works for a little minute, I would say.
So he knew something else.
It was in the works, but things had to get put together the right way. Things had to come together from my standpoint to the Dolphins to the Steelers. I think all of us had to come to a, I guess you could say, agreement. We all had to come to a consensus on what it would be. I do appreciate the Dolphins and them working with me and David, you know, not just, hey, this team called and, you know, we're going to send you here and this and that. Like, it wasn't any of that. It was very open communication with, this is, you know, y'all been good to us. I've been good to y'all. Like, let's do it the right way. Let's go to a team that's going to be able to compete. Let's go to a team where there's a lot of respect for the head coach in there and, you know, the staff, a place where I can continue developing, playing at a high level, maybe be versatile. And then, you know, I had to let David do his thing too. You know, the money was involved. So he did his thing with that. And then, you know, obviously the Steelers, you know, they really wanted me here. And, you know, at the end of the day, I wanted to be here as well. And so I just it got to a certain point where I was like, everything is good on my end. Let's get the business handled. Y'all do that part, and y'all let me know when it's a go. So that kind of took a little minute to get done, but once that got done, it was like, let's go.
Don't let it. Nobody, when they talk about going to another place, they never talk about a place where the head coach is respected. Nobody's talking about that when they're trying to move you. It's just if you fit there. Do they fit fiscally? Do you fit schematically? All of that. And they obviously, because of Ramsey being a very difficult person, you're just not going to be able to trade him anywhere. And the team that's going to take him in has to know who he is and has to connect with them first, because if not, he's going to make hell for Miami and whoever else you're trying to trade for, right? So they knew that. They had to try to accommodate. But there is no doubt in my mind, when he said that part about going to a place where the head coach is respected, that's a backhanded shot at Mike McDaniel. There is no two ways about it. That's what that is. And throughout the offseason, there's constantly been proven disrespect of Mike McDaniel because people have left and had an opportunity to stay if they wanted to. You know, it's interesting how Kendall Lamb was talking about retirement until his contract became officially expired. And then he got rejuvenated and went and signed with Philadelphia. Okay? So this is, and like him, there were other examples too of people that have left. And there isn't that confidence in that building, as I've told you, for that guy. No matter what they try to tell you, no matter what they try to spin or anything like that, there's a lack of confidence in that guy in that building. But they're screwed. They gave him the new contract. And to me, unfortunately, the Dolphins are in the land of where they've been for many, many years now. Many, many years, all the way through the Huizenga years. Optics. They worry more about optics. And since the optics are, you just gave this guy an extension, they're not going to fire him right now because it would look bad on them. So we're going to play the game of waiting for cause. So when the season goes awry, then they'll turn to the fan base and say, well, we gave him a contract, but we got to do what's best for the franchise. And we got to try to win. And we're going to have to make a change and swallow that. Instead, they could do it now, but the optics would be really bad. Well, wait a minute. You just gave him a contract and it's about to start and you're firing him already? Well, just look at all the defections and everything that went on this offseason and the lack of investment from the top into this season. It just tells you where we're going. I've explained this over and over and over again. Are they going to tell you this? No. Just like they didn't tell you that they were tanking. You know, it's kind of like one of those things like wink, wink. Y'all know what we're doing, but we're not talking about it. And the one idiot didn't figure it out and flow. So now in this one, there's a different kind of setup. And this one sets up the cause. And when he fails, which he eventually will fail because this team is not nearly as good as it's been the last couple of years, and he's not going to get any better as a coach, we are going to deal with the optics and then go through the rough season and then go through the change, which then I'll be excited, by the way, which that's the bright side of it. I got to tell you, that's where I start smiling, and that's where I get wind in my sails, and that's where I start to develop at least a little hope, is if you can get me Weaver in there. You know, I look at Weaver, and I think that might be our best candidate in a couple decades. You know, a young guy that's kind of made the right way and has been around already and is probably ready to go. And I'd rather get him before somebody else and grow with that guy. So we'll see. And who knows, man? Maybe McDaniel shocks me and everybody else and goes out there and has an incredible season and shuts me up. I just need to win, bro. That's all. I just need to win. Please, I need to win. Yes, sir.
Just going to look at what some of the Lion beat writers were saying.
Yes.
Colton Pouncey. He is with The Athletic, covers the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most lopsided joint practice I've ever seen. Lions dominated both sides. Dolphins offense just ran 16 or so plays in the red zone versus the Lions and didn't score until the final play. Miami's first-team offense didn't score in the 7 or 8 plays versus Detroit's first-team defense. It was ugly. It said, Lions linebacker, your boy Grant Stewart, standing on business today after his comments about the Dolphins. Physical as hell out here.
We know what they are, and we know what we are.
That looks like about it. And then St. Brown cooking the Dolphins, which we already found from our.
But you expected that. We don't have any corners. St. Brown is like one of the best route runners. Like he's like a top 3 route runner in the NFL, not top 3 receiver. Listen to me. He's a top 10 receiver probably, but he's a top 3 route runner in the NFL. He is a precise route runner. We don't have people that can eat with that guy, bro. We just don't. By the way, Ethereum's at 47.20 still. So still we're waiting for that breakout to get the record. Okay. And Bitcoin's at 121,612. Star Atlas is up 45%, baby. Oh. It's up to 14 cents, dude. That is badass. I don't know if you loaded up at 6 and 7 cents like I did, but yeah, Star Atlas, man. Wow, up 45%, man. Star Atlas, baby. That's a beautiful thing. By the way, out of the 231, who's on the Star Atlas bandwagon with me? I'm just wondering how many up there. I know it takes some balls to kind of get into Atlas and all, because it's easier to go into Bitcoin or Ethereum because it's like what everybody knows. But when you tell somebody like a deep coin or what's going on, it's harder for them. It takes a little bit more gumption to get to it. So I'm just wondering, out of the 219 that are watching right now, and for those of you that listen and watch later on and all that, send me a tweet, a DM on Twitter, whatever, Facebook, wherever the hell you connect with me. So many damn platforms nowadays. And tell me you're on the Star Atlas bandwagon, because I wonder how many of you. This game is next level. It's going to be nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Big O, if we roll our eyes for his press conference, imagine what it must be like to work with the guy. Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. Yes, sir, Sean.
Another Lions. Biggest takeaway for me is Detroit's first defense looks legit. Miami did nothing offensively in the red zone in team. Nothing. Then he says, this is the Lions' best offensive day they have looked in practice. And it's no coincidence they didn't have to take reps versus their own D today.
Yep. That's who we are. That's who we are. That's who we are, unfortunately. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Ray, thank you, my brother. Very nice of you. A little love on Venmo. He says, good afternoon. Happy Bitcoin Wednesday. I would love McDaniel to prove me wrong, but honestly, I hope Weaver takes over. I want Achane to run for 2,000 yards. I want Waddle and Tyreek to combine for 5,000 yards catching. I want Tua to throw for 10,000. I want the defensive ends to get 40 sacks this year. I mean, of course, I want it all. But it's a bitch. It's not about what you and I want. It's about just reality is what it is. Reality. It's crazy, man. Yes, sir.
Tua asked, how do you move on from a tough practice? You don't, he said. You face it head on.
Okay. What can we say about that, right? I just hope that Chop is all right, man. Let's see what else. A lot of this is on the owner, who continues to hire inexperienced coaches. They should have hired Dabo, who knew this division and coached Tua in college. How'd it go with Saban, bro? Experienced Parcells. Experienced Jimmy Johnson won 2 Super Bowls and really won the third because Barry Switzer did it with his players. And he was a disaster here. Every time he went to the playoffs, Jimmy Johnson crapped his pants. We've done all that, bro. You seem to figure out that we brought the Hall of Fame NFL coaches, the Hall of Fame college coach, We've brought the hot offensive coordinator, the hot defensive coordinator. We've done it all, dude. I'm not exactly sure how long you've been a Dolphin fan, but I've seen it all. Every type of coach has failed here. You brought Parcells in to have the Super Bowl winning coach oversee it. Didn't work. You brought the Super Bowl winning coach to actually run the team and the personnel. Didn't work. You brought in the college coach that 7 NFL teams wanted. Didn't work. You brought in all the hot offensive coordinators over the years and the hot defensive coordinators. Didn't work. So what is it? Big 50-46. Got to be accurate here, my brother. Everything's been tried under the Dolphins' sun, and nothing has worked. I don't know what it is, but whatever we try, we get burned. Just don't know what it is. Pat in Nashville says, I saw joint practice of Dolphins Panthers in 15. Dolphins absolutely smoked them. Every drill, 11-on-11. Panthers went 15-1. Finn 6-10. Yep, there you go. But that 2015 Dolphins team probably is better than this one. This is not a good one right now. Big O OBJ is in the Will Fuller category. Yeah, basically. I don't know. Our last 2 head coaches weren't even coordinators. What the hell? We've tried everything. The guys that are coordinators and the guys that aren't coordinators. And by the way, Flores was the defensive coordinator for the Patriots, even though Belichick is the coach. He was still calling the plays, actually. So give him credit. But we have hired, whether it was Cam Cameron being or Gase was an offensive coordinator or whatever, we've done that already. We've hired the offensive and the defensive coordinators. So now we hired a run coordinator who wants to be pass happy. The great Joe Philbin. He made Aaron Rodgers. He was a play designer. He helped to design plays. It's like, yeah, dude, we've had it. Gase has been the offensive coordinator. We've had the offensive line coach, the run coordinator. We've had all kinds of coaches, and we fail at everything. It's crazy. It really is. What else? Weaver will be a great head coach. I hope Miami Brass doesn't mess this up. I think that's the plan, dude. It's just they can't say it. They can't talk about it. Leonardo Joseph, I could be wrong, but I think it has something to do with the stadium built on Indian. No, it does not. Stop with that. The Marlins have 2 titles. Stop with that silliness. Okay? Marlins have 2 titles in that stadium. And the Canes are finally going to get back to respectability this year. It's all on the team, dude. All right. OBJ and Will Fuller are the top 2 reasons to replace Greer. The third reason is Cam Smith, Greer's son's college roommate. The Miami Poltergeists. I like that. So Grant Stewart, who just finished practice, talked about how, if they would be ready for their physicality. So Mike McDaniel was asked about that, about Grant Stewart's comments, about if they don't know if the Dolphins will be ready for the Lions' physicality. And apparently, according to reports, Grant was right. And, but let's see what Mike McDaniel's response was, thanks to David Furones on the beat.
Have any reaction to Grant Stewart essentially putting into question the practice habits of this team?
No, I don't. I mean, literally does not affect me whatsoever. I hope we get the absolute best practice from Grant and everybody else between the whistles like that, and that makes us better. So, I think there's a lot of noise, and I've filed that into the noise category.
When you don't have a confrontational coach, you won't have a confrontational team. When you don't have a physical coach, you will not have a physical team. This is just kind of the way it is. Another type of coach might have said, it's interesting he feels that way. I hope my guys respond. Well, I guess that's his opinion. That's not the way I coach. I don't expect my players to play that way. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to necessarily go completely at them, but you still have to kind of show up as a coach and say, yeah, no, but okay, but I expect my guys to, and this is what we have as a head coach. Grant, by the way, continued his physical play with the physical talk. He took Ollie Gordon to the ground today. And what do we have? Reaction, oh my God, from the Riders. Well, what I say is, why don't you guys stand up for yourselves and start punching people in the mouth? Like I mentioned the other day, I love how they talk about our Florida Panthers. I hate how they talk about our Miami Dolphins. Interesting contrast, isn't it? Because I take pride that people hate the Panthers. I take pride that people hate and expect a overly physical team for 90 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry, 60 minutes. Might seem like 90 for the people that face them, actually, to be quite honest. And the fact that, Sam Bennett is dirty or what, well, he's my dirty guy. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? We acquired some guy from Boston that, I don't know, Marshawn or something like that. I'm glad he's on my team. I'm glad Tim Bowens wants to take your head off. I'm really happy that Brian Cox will challenge you at any second. I love the fact that Jason Taylor is an absolute ball of fire. So, sorry, but I kind of like my players to, be SOBs. I really enjoy it. I have no problem with the growl and the snarl and the flexing from Alonzo Mourning, the undersized center that wasn't going to take shit from anybody and wasn't going to back down from anybody. At times, was he going to get beat by Shaq or Olajuwon or somebody that's really bigger than him and a little bit more talent? Yeah. Was he going to back down from any of those people? No. Was he even going to get his own against him? Yeah. P.J. Brown, a quiet gentleman, and a mother on the court. You know what's missing now in the Miami Heat? They don't have any mother effers. So it's interesting that everything that I despise about the Miami Dolphins is what I love about our Florida Panthers. Yep. I like it. My guys will check you in the corner and then punch you in the jaw on top of all of that. I like it. I like intimidation. I used to love the Canes. They used to intimidate. They would win games before the game even started. And I think they're kind of getting back to being that physical nature that I implore. I love. It is football. It is hockey. Get physical. Let's go. So, yeah, that's my problem with all of this going on. Thank you, by the way, getting us over 100. Appreciate it. Keep smashing that like button. Get us to 200 now. Let's go. Big O Tomlin, the tough guy coach, has 5 straight first-round exits. Well, Tomlin, one thing where I was wrong, okay, I thought he didn't have nearly as much personnel say, so I kind of felt bad for him. Apparently, he has as much say as anybody, including Omar Khan. So he is part of the problem now. Mike Tomlin is the new version of Don Shula. Both guys can coach their asses off, but both guys will set themselves back because they suck in personnel. And if you go look at the Steeler roster, it's one of the worst rosters for the Steelers in years. And Mike Tomlin is part of that. And that's where I was wrong. I talked to a buddy that I trust that covers the Steelers beat, and he told me, no, dude, no. Tomlin has a ton of influence in personnel. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay, so I want Mike Tomlin coaching my team. I don't want Mike Tomlin anywhere near the personnel department. Okay? I would tell him, yo, listen, go coach, go have all your really nice phrases that you have on the podium and all that inspirational stuff for your players. Get the fuck out of here. Stay away from the personnel department. Part of the problem with the Steelers is that Mike Tomlin has a say in personnel. How do you like them apples? So when you have that stupid ass ego that Shula and he, oh no problem. No, I can straighten out Eric Green. No, you can't, asshole. That's all. But hey, Shula, he was going to make it happen. No. Robin Senline is definitely a good pick for a switch for Anthony Carter. Yes, no, it's a great move for us. No, I know that, this running back, Sammy Smith, will be the guy. You don't. You don't know anything about Eric Kumaro or Jackie Shipp or anything else that you did. You screw up. Because that's what Shula was in the personnel department. He was an absolute screw up. He would make up for it because he would coach his ass off. Kind of reminds you of Belichick. Belichick would do a lot of that too. Screw up completely in the personnel department, and then Tom Brady and the boys would bail him out. He would coach well because he could coach defense, and he could find defensive players and that were on other teams, and they kind of didn't fit or fail, but he had seen them now on pro in film for a couple of years, and he brings them over. He had more success doing that than actually drafting guys. So Mike Tomlin's problem is the same thing that went on with Shula's second half of his career and why he was a disaster. He succeeded when he had real personnel people. Once he lost all those people, once he lost Thomas and Young and Beathard, he was nothing in the personnel department. He was an absolute joke. It just what saved him was he was a great coach. So he would make up for it in ways until just couldn't anymore in the salary cap. And then that was another monster that Shula could not handle. So the game passed him by. It did pass him by. We were all accurate in that sense. Now, the sad part is, the twisted part is that even Shula's worst years are still better than what goes on nowadays. That shows you what kind of a coach he was. But you can't keep him in the personnel department. So you couldn't have both. And same thing with Belichick. They had to get rid of Belichick because he was not the personnel guy. And Mike Tomlin has now been exposed as the same thing. He can coach his ass off. He sucks in personnel. He takes a lot of knuckleheads, and he thinks he can coach up a lot of these boneheads. Nobody drafts more boneheads at wide receiver than the Pittsburgh Steelers, thanks to Mike Tomlin. And after Ben Roethlisberger, which wasn't him, they haven't been able to find jack shit. Kind of reminds you of Belichick. Kind of reminds you of Shula. He got lucky with Marino because of cocaine rumors and a bunch of interceptions in the senior year. That's it. Oh, Marino's a party animal, and he threw interceptions. 5 guys got taken before Marino. We got lucky. It wasn't because Shula knew anything. He sucked in personnel. So Mike Tomlin, that's the real deal now that goes on. The real cancer that goes on with the Steelers is they have a great game day coach. They have a terrible personnel department now. There you go. So this is what happens when you have the great coach, Shula. You have the great coach, and he's not a good personnel, Belichick. And then at one point it catches up to you. It will catch up to Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan, and eventually they'll blow their asses out of there. And then he'll go to some place where he won't have control of personnel, and maybe he'll do better. But you can't strip away that power now that he has earned. So they're in that rock and a hard place that the Dolphins were and the Patriots were. And so you've got to fail enough to finally say, yeah, we're done. What do you got, baby?
Just to go on what you were saying today, there's the Falcons and Titans. A big fight during the Falcons-Giants joint practice. Penix apparently was thrown down, and then that started the whole scrum. And get this, they didn't even give Penix, the offensive line didn't give Penix a chance to get up. The fight was happening over him. So just to go on to what you were saying, where the offense needs to
man up, bro.
Man up and stuff like that. So
man up.
That's what happened at Falcons-Titans joint practice.
I heard that shit from Teron Armstead. Oh, and Brooks was telling what's his name? Dobson. Oh, no, you got to take them down like they're doing over there in the other field. No. They need to go fight their own fights over there. That's all. That's what they need to do. But I get it, bro. You know, former players, most former players don't have any objectivity. They can't really do this job. They'll do it. They can do it on a national level. They can do it. Yeah, man, bro, he can easily work at ESPN and NFL. You don't really have to be very critical there. They're all in bed together. So it's perfect, dude. Be the voice of a team. Work for the team. You can be politically correct all the time and all that. Whatever. I'm not here to be politically correct. Sorry. That's why people, the ones that listen because you're going to get the brutal truth here. That's all. And I don't worry about the politics. What else? My brother was a Steelers fan, lived on the podcast, and he would say that when Tomlin was given a say, they'd screw everything up. They've been calling for his head for years. They'll call him one and done. Yeah. And you know what? I wasn't on board. Now I am with the whole time. The Steeler Nation, the Steeler team needs to cut the umbilical cord because he needs to be taken away from personnel. So, I didn't know it was that bad, but it's bad. And it's like Shula and Belichick are better than Tomlin. And if it's a disease for them, it's a disease for this guy too. It's not the first time it's happened, because once they get success, you then have to give them personnel power and say and all that. And if they don't turn out to be very good in that area, they're going to screw themselves and screw your team. And that's what's happening with the Pittsburgh Steelers, like it's happened with the Patriots and the Dolphins. Same thing. Tony Eason was taken by the Pats before Marino in the draft. Yes. Yeah, Tony Eason, Todd Blackledge, Jim Kelly, Steve Young. Tony Eason's. Todd Blackledge. It's O'Brien. Because one was the Patriot, one was the Jet. And then the other guy, Blackledge, was with Kansas City. And then you had obviously the other then Kelly, Young, and then Marino. Oh, Elway. And right. I'm mixing Young with Elway and Kelly. Yes. Yeah. I can't believe that O'Brien and Blackledge and Eason were taken before. You can understand Kelly and Kelly, and Elway. Kelly and Elway, because those were monster studs. All of them, 5 guys were taken before. Oh, Blackledge before Kelly? Wow. That's insane.
So Elway went first, Blackledge 7th, Kelly 14th, Eason 15th, O'Brien 24th, and then Marino was 27th by the Dolphins.
Elway was like that all-world athlete. Like everybody was looking at Elway like, oh my God, can't miss. And he was can't miss. You know, although he was like a choker for years, and it really wasn't his fault. He just didn't have a running game and an offensive line.
He was drafted by the Colts, by the way, not the Broncos.
That's right. Yep. Let's see. The Heat has no good centers or no good power forwards to get offense and defensive rebounds. The Heat is just a soft team, and they have no stars. Would you take Tomlin as our next head coach? Yes, as long as he has no say in personnel. Yes, but he's going to want say in personnel, and I would never give him. So, plus it's a ridiculous hypothetical that'll never happen. But I get that's what sports talk is loaded with, a whole bunch of silly hypotheticals. Tua may be even more like Drew Brees and his play style. Brees left San Diego and had a career. Well, actually, that could end up happening. But Brees' thing, it was that the light went on the last year in San Diego. If you go look at the stats, the light went on. And then that's when he became a sexy tradable player, because he wasn't sexy tradable. I mean, wasn't sexy as a signing because he was a free agent. And the first couple of years, nobody would want Drew Brees. But then in that last year, he had really good stats. And it was like, oh, shit. And then that's when Miami and New Orleans were in that whole battle. And New Orleans obviously won. And their doctors made the better call than our doctors. And the rest is history. But, yeah, that would kind of suck that we lose Tua and he goes somewhere else. And they actually have like an offensive line and a running game. And he goes on to kick ass and wins a championship with somebody else. That would be very Dolphins. That would be very Dolphins. So it is what it is. What you got for me? You got some? What are you looking at?
I was looking at the stats for Brees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like the 2 years leading up, he played 15 and 16 games, took him to 11-4 and 9-7 each year. And then when he got to New Orleans, he was pretty consistent with what he was there. And then he took that jump in 2016.
Right.
To where he was a 70% completion and everything else.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The amazing Alan Blanco. If you're looking for custom printing and embroidery, 786-618-1443. The bad news is that Chop Robinson was carted off the field. We don't exactly know what was the injury, so it may not be too serious. Maybe he's only out for a couple days, a week, or could be even worse. Could be season ending. I have no idea, so let's not overreact. It might not be serious, and it could be serious. So let's just hold out some hope, and let's hope for the best for Chop Robinson in their practices against the Lions, which reportedly the Lions had the better half of this practice overall. Zach Wilson, by the way, threw 2 interceptions in the practice against the Lions. Saturday at Chase Stadium, Inter Miami will take on the LA Galaxy. No word yet if Messi will play. 7:30 at Pitbull Stadium, Miami FC will host Louisville City FC. And James Cook, the running back for the Bills, agrees to a 4-year contract worth $48 million with $30 million guaranteed. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Orlando, you'll be close to getting blocked for stupid questions. Just so you'll know, buddy. I don't do any of the stupidity. So stop with stupidity. Don't do hypotheticals. Go somewhere else or you'll get blocked here. Seriously. I don't need it. Don't care about it. Don't want it. Move on. Grow up is what I would say to people out there with hypotheticals. Grow up and talk about what's actually going on in reality. is what I would tell you people out there. Anyway, what were you going to say? What happened?
Jerry Jones, he said Ari Miroff.
Oh, yeah.
With the 33 team.
The aggregator.
Yeah, but he says Jerry Jones says the quiet part out loud. He says, this is from Jerry Jones on thing. The Cowboys are a soap opera 365 days a year.
Right.
When it gets slow, I stir it up. There is controversy. That controversy is good stuff in terms of keeping and having people's attention.
Right. I know. It's like if you're a Cowboys fan, you're just a tool. Seriously, your owner is not, he doesn't care about winning. He just cares about the bottom line, bringing in a ton of money and creating controversy. The fact that he drags out all these contracts to the end and ends up paying a ton of money, ends up setting his team back. He also creates a terrible connection with players because there is no connection because he runs it like a plantation. That's just kind of, you'll do it when he wants you to do it, and he'll sign, and he'll make you a piñata in the media for months and drag you on and contracts and all that kind of stuff. And this is what he does so he can, tout his ego and pump it up and prove to everybody that the old fart is in charge. And so for him, the controversy and people talking about it is his championship. Since he can't provide you any substance, and he never will, there you go. But Cowboy fans are just suckers that keep following this. I mean, really, seriously, like you cannot win with this. There's no way you will win with this old man constantly running the ship the way it is. And it's not like all I have to do is look at the team now and look at that quarterback. You're not winning. So it doesn't matter to me what goes on. It's a soap opera. It's exactly it. He's right. And anybody that takes the Cowboys serious, you're a tool. That's all. You're a tool. Because there's nothing serious about the Cowboys. They're not trying to win a championship, dude. They don't have no championship culture there. They have a soap opera culture there. It's kind of what they've been since Jimmy Johnson left. They were soap opera-ish that year that they won the championship. But they were so good, and the whole coaching staff was in place, and everything was in place that they were able to survive. But after that, the circus has been the circus, and it is what it is. And Cowboy fans, you people are just tools, dude. You're following a soap opera. You're not even following a real football team. You're following an old fart that likes to just toot his ego. That's it. That's all it is. He's got an entire Cowboy nation suckered, bro. Those fools pay for the shirts and the hats and the season tickets and the suites, and there is nothing serious about a championship with that organization, with that old fart. I mean, seriously. It's a joke. That's why Screaming A can just go all out every year on the Cowboys and have fun because it's like clockwork. The old man is going to screw everything up and constantly make the wrong moves and just drag his players through the media and the mud. It's cool. What he is, dude. You want to work on the plantation? This is the way the plantation man works. Oh, you all want to kneel? No, you're not kneeling on your own. We'll kneel together before the game, hand in hand, because I'm with you. No, I'm playing you like a fiddle, and you suckers did exactly what I told you to do. All those players, that was disgraceful that day. zero balls for those Cowboys, but typical of the franchise. So, sell out. Yes, sir.
I just want to add something to the Shedeur Sanders injury. He was taking off by cart.
Oh.
Jalen Hurts was driving the cart, though.
It's awesome. It's awesome. All right. Big O, find out Toyota is going to bring the new 70 Series Land Cruiser to the U.S. Let me see. Let me see who I can pull over to the side. You know what? Hold on a second. I can just ask Herbie. What is it called? Bringing the new 70 Series Land Cruiser to the U.S. Okay. All right, let's see. I sent the answer to the Big Cheese, and the Big Cheese hopefully will give me an answer in a minute or two here, and we'll find out. This team is screwed. Just heard we were dominated by the Lions in the joint practice. Yep. Just tuned in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cam Good, by the way, picked up a sack. It's good to see Cam Good. He's turned into a good special teamer, and I would like to see him turn into a good linebacker. But that's one thing they have, man. This year they were able to find some good backup linebackers. So I kind of like what I'm seeing. The front seven it's going to be fun to watch, man. I mean, I hope Chop is all right, which, that is one that scares me a little bit. Don't forget, folks, to smash the hell out of the like button. Speaking of the Big Cheese, go to bigcheesemiami.com. That's the website. Check out the menu before you go. I got so many items, 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, and the walls are loaded with hurricane memories of the last 40 years. This started with Gary and Billy over 40 years ago as an idea concept, and it has turned into an institution here in South Florida. The pasta is shipped from Italy, and it's cooked fresh daily. 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, and go check out those garlic rolls. They are to die for. You will love them at bigcheesemiami.com, and tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. Yes, sir.
There's still some fans that just don't want to let it go.
Let what go?
So you remember I told you the Colton Pouncey, most lopsided Dolphins fan, retweeted it and said Dolphins kicked the shit out of the Eagles in joint practices before the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So let's not get too worried about practice, especially without Reek or Waddle.
I know it's it's like the Dolphin that yesterday I was saying, well, they play Myrick, but they don't play Waller, and he's like, well, who's more important? And then it's, well, no, Chubb is actually more important. He's out there from a big injury, didn't play last year, and he's out there. The guy didn't have anything to say after that. And it's just one of those things. It's like Teron Armstead agreeing with the head coach that it's all right not to play Waller now for these scrimmages. The guy that played with every injury in the world, the guy that played without practicing. Come on, dude, give me a break. If we're just gonna be fluff, then it's just, come on, bro. Enough already. Let's live in reality and where we're at right now. Let's do that. And if they didn't practice well against the Lions, didn't practice well last week, didn't look great in the preseason game, I'm sorry, isn't that called like a trend? Is that not a trend? Oh, by the way, no, and it's the best. There's a level of Dolphin fans that never want to face reality, right? So the play calling this past week, you use HN in short yardage. You actually didn't use your big backs in short yardage. You couldn't get a play in on time. And somebody tells me, well, it's only preseason, though. And I go, yeah, but I want to see improvement there because this is the same shit that goes on in the regular season for the last couple of years. So you got to improve at one point. So you got to admit to yourself when, come on, man, let's go. Let's not get ridiculous here. You know, by the way, are you guys tuning in tonight at 7 o'clock for the Kelsey boys? Taylor Swift is going to be on tonight with the Kelsey boys. I know all of you are going to be tuning in. Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Well, oh, because they'll put in.
Daughter wants to already. She's talked to me about, like, hey, I want to watch that. She knows she's not into sports
at all.
All she worries about is Taylor Swift is on there. So I already know what's going to happen.
Oh, that shit. They're going to break records.
Oh, it's all over everywhere. Like, it's just
records they are going to break on that podcast for that right there. I would hope that they sold the shit out of that and got some sponsors in there during her segment because they're going to be able to show all kinds of stuff and expose all kinds of stuff there, dude. You know? That is, oh, by the way, Frankie Fresco. Did you see what happened to Frankie? I hope he sold his tickets because the Backstreet Boys added 7 more shows to the Sphere. They watered it down a little bit more, like our country does with dollars. They added shows on the 26th, the 27th, the 28th, the 30th, and the 31st of December. So you can spend the 31st with the Backstreet Boys, New Year's Eve at the Sphere, and January 2nd and 3rd. So, Frankie, I don't know if you sold it, but there's more shows. Or, I don't know, man. It's still, the value of your tickets may still even go up, even more than that. About that. There's a Depeche Mode movie coming out also. So if any of you are Depeche Mode fans, you will be able to see the movie, and it's coming to theaters. And I'm wondering if Regal's going to have it because, you know, obviously I've got the pass. And I'll go see it. But Tribeca Festival, Depeche Mode, along with Tragfalar, whatever, releasing in Sony Music Vision, announced the release of the featured film Depeche Mode M, coming to cinemas and IMAX worldwide for a limited theatrical event beginning Tuesday, October 28th. The film is expected to screen in 2,500 cinemas in more than 60 countries, giving fans all over the world an opportunity to join David Gahn, Martin Gore, director Fernando Frias, and company on this unique cinematic journey into the heart of Mexican culture's relationship with death, framed by the iconic live performances of Depeche Mode. So, if you happen to be a Depeche Mode fan, there you go. You got it going on. Let me go to musicians born on this date. Let's start with Pretty Ricky. He was born on this date in 1984. Diamond Blue Smith, singer, R&B, hip-hop artist. Pretty Ricky. Let's see who else celebrating a birthday today. Danny Bonaducci, Partridge Family, born in 1959. Let's see who else. Dan Fogelberg, classic, man, born in 1951. We lost him, by the way, in 2007 to prostate cancer, unfortunately, at 56. Too young. Who else is celebrating a birthday today? Let's go with famous people celebrating birthdays today. And remember, if I don't give an age, that means they have passed away. Sharpshooter Annie Oakley, born in 1860. Filmmaker Alfred Hitchcock, born in 1899. World Golfing Hall of Fame member Ben Hogan, born in 1912. Musician Don Ho, born in 1930. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, she's still with us? 46, she's 79. She just looks dead, but she's still with us. Let's see who else. Hall of Fame member Bobby Clark, born in 49. He's 76 today. Actor John Slattery, born in 62. He's 63. DeMarcus Cousins, basketball player, born in 90. He's 35. NHL player Johnny Gaudreau, born in 93. That sucks. I hate this. I got to say Johnny Gaudreau, born in 93, and that's it. Like, he's not with us. Like, Jesus, come on, man. 93, you're too young. You should be with us. Life is sad sometimes. All right, Sean, do we have wrestlers born on this date, sir?
Yes, sir, we do.
All right.
Professional wrestler turned teacher, Spike Dudley. He turns 55 today on August 13th, 2025.
Oh, shit, that's the list? Wow. Okay. All right, let's move over to what happened today in music history, and we're going to start off in 1965, where Jefferson Airplane made their live debut at San Francisco's Matrix Club. In 66, the year I was born, The Loving Spoonful started a 3-week run at #1 on the U.S. singles charts with Hot Time, Summer in the City. The song featured a series of car horns during the instrumental bridge, starting with the Volkswagen Beetle, and it ends up with the jackhammer sound in order to give the impression of the sounds of an urban summer. In 73, Lynyrd Skynyrd released their debut album, pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd, in an impressive set containing Skynyrd classics Tuesday's Gone, Simple Man, and Freebird. Just like, holy shit. In your first album, you throw out I love Tuesday's Gone. What a great song from Lynyrd Skynyrd. Simple Man, I mean, it's been used on commercials left and right, and Freebird is like the stairway to heaven of Southern rock. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Just crazy. In 79, on this date, Cheap Trick enjoyed their biggest hit with their live version of I Want You to Want Me. In 91, Cypress Hill released their self-titled debut album. It features How Could I Just Kill a Man? Think about all the debuts of all the different bands on this date. Pretty impressive. In 94, on this day, Woodstock continued. It started on the 12th of August in, Saugerties, New York? Is that how it's pronounced? Attended by more than 350,000 fans, the festival featured Green Day, 9 Inch Nails, Aerosmith, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Tickets cost $135. It's a lot of money in 94, dude. A lot of money. Shit. Let's see what else. In 96, Low released their third studio album, The Curtain Hits the Cast. It features Over the Ocean, The Plan, Lust, and Do You Know How to Waltz? Better Than Ezra in 96 released their third studio album, Friction. Friction, baby. It features King of New Orleans, great song, and Desperately Wanting. In 96, on this date, Aaliyah released her second studio album, One in a Million. It features If Your Girl Only Knew. Very pretty girl. I think the music was a little overrated, but very pretty girl. Talented. 2002, Adam Ant pleaded guilty to threatening drinkers at the Prince of Wales pub in London in January of 2002. The 80s pop star had returned to the bar with a starting pistol, but refused entry. He had also thrown a car alternator through the window of the pub. Yeah, you know, Adam has had some issues in his life. In 2021, The Killers released their 7th studio album, Pressure Machine. It features Quiet Town and Runaway Horses. Let's see some birthdays maybe that weren't on the other list that I may have forgotten. Nope, not really. And that's it. That's what happened today in music history. All right. Sean, let me ask you something. Did you see what Georges St. Pierre said about the new Paramount deal with the UFC? Well, on Monday, Pierre spoke about it. He said it could be good for the UFC as a promoter, but terrible for the fighters. He says, because when I was competing, I was able to have a great argument to negotiate my contract. I could tell the UFC, hey, if you want me to do all the promotion, I want you to become a partner. I want a piece of the pie to negotiate part of the pay-per-view revenue. Because if I'm doing all the promotion and I'm helping you, but you need to help me, you need to make me a partner. So it might be a bad thing for the fighters in this way because they have less leverage. And that is true because if you're not going to track anymore how many pay-per-views, then you don't know the demand. But if you have certain fighters that are guaranteed to bring in a hell of a lot more in pay-per-views than another fighter, well, then that fighter can ask for a lot more because he has something he can track it with. Now, if you're just on the platform, they're not going to be able to really track it. They can actually fudge the numbers if they want to, too.
Yeah, but then also what I heard was, and going off of what George St. Pierre said right there, was that a lot of them are hoping, again, it's hope, that they end up increasing the purse money for like fight of the night and knockout of the night and some of the other avenues that they do. Because again, if you're not GSP, if you're not Conor McGregor, if you're not one of those big stars, you are getting paid anyways.
Right.
So now they're hoping that at least maybe some of that will go up since it's an open public thing of, because again, there's no more pay-per-views or no more nothing.
Like getting a bill, they're making $1 billion a year, bro.
Yeah. Well, Paramount's going to put it on there and CBS. But the problem, Paramount's going to end up going to a tier thing, which is going to have to be, I think it'll go from whatever you're paying, maybe like $15.99 a month, and then you'll get the UFC pay-per-views. If you do the free one, you'll get the normal live fights. Is what's going to happen, because they're going to have to. There's no way they paid $1 billion a year, and they're not going to make something out of this. So you're not just going to get free pay-per-views, but a lot of thinking is at least it will increase some of the purses for some of the fighters that, again, weren't going to make the deals that George St. Pierre and all them were making, because there's no, to be honest, I don't know if there's a UFC guy out there right now that you look at and say, there's great fighters, don't get me wrong,
not a huge draw.
But there's not a draw that you look at and go,
you're right.
That's why they're putting on 2 mega matches in the thing. It used to be, hey, we just put Conor on the card or George St. Pierre or, any of those guys and it'll draw. Now it's a stacked card because that's what they got to do. That's why
John Jones.
That's why this deal is so important to the UFC, because now they don't have to worry about that.
Right.
They're paid.
They're paid. They're paid. $7 billion, dude. By the way, Polis up 47%. Star Atlas Dow, baby. Waiting for this for a while now. I've been waiting for this for a while. Man. That is crazy, dude. 46%. What do we have there? Frankie says, I posted them for sale, but they have yet to get sold. Well, they just added a few shows. That's probably why. But hang in there. You're going to sell them, bro, and you're going to sell them for a lot of money. You're going to make some good money. Good investment, bro. Dolphin says, I just saw Cypress Hill last night here in Charlotte. So much weed in the crowd and on stage. Great show. Finn's Rule says, not sure of the source, but an article on Yahoo from SB Nation, Marek Brave. He wrote, chop injury to be arm shoulder related. Yeah, I don't know who that is, so I'm not going to put any weight on any of that kind of reporting. But listen, I just hope it's not serious. That's all I'm hoping. I'm hoping Chop is, going to miss a couple of days or whatever and miss this weekend's game or whatever and move on, and he's fine for next week. That's what I'm going to hope for. I'm going to hope that this is like nothing whatsoever. That's all I can ask for right now. We got anything else going on the Dolphin front? If it becomes something serious, one of the national writers will get it because their agents will reach out to the national writer and give it to them if they're on the same, agency and all that kind of crap. So that's usually what happens. Isaiah Small says, no one in the Dolphins organization will tell you this, but today's big day. Need to see more fight from this team versus the Lions than we saw last week versus the Bears. What did Omar put? Oh, yeah. It's just unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. Let's see. Barry Jackson writes, the Dolphins believe they have put together a good team. They've said on the record that the media is more worried about their secondary, et cetera, than they are. The only question is whether they blow off today by saying Detroit does this to everyone or whether it makes them reassess parts of their roster. Problem is, see, here's where Barry gets it wrong. What is there to reassess already? Just because they tell you they're not concerned about it, they know what their roster is. They're just not going to admit it, dude. And they're going to coach them up and say they have potential and all that, and they're going to talk it all up because we got to work to where we're going to get to. What is there to rework? What is there to rethink? There's nothing. If you're getting them to admit it, it'll happen at the end of the year or something. But right now, they're going to fight through it, and they're going to say as many positive things about their players, and they're going to try to coach them up because that's what professionals do. But let's not kid ourselves. The secondary is what it is. The lack of depth on the offensive line, it is what it is. Mike McDaniel is who he is. Some things just don't change, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, Welton Rayom is a proud sponsor of our program. If you're looking for lawyers that you can trust and that will fight with you, that have a hell of a lot more fight than any Miami Dolphins team, bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, reach out to our guys at Welton Rayom. Jeff and Dan do exceptional work. The consultation's completely free. And maybe you don't need them now, but you might need them down the line. I hope you never need them. But if you do, save that number on your cell phone right now, 954-966-4646. God forbid there's a torrential downpour and you notice, wait a minute, there's a brown spot in my roof. Do I have a leak? Or maybe some wind, and starting at 40 miles an hour, that can cause damage to your roof. I don't know if you guys know that. And so right away, they will send their adjusters, and then they will call the insurance company. What you never do, never call the insurance companies, ever. You call Welton Rayom first, and then they'll send their adjusters, and then they'll attack the insurance company. That's how you do it. No headaches for you. Okay? In Seinfeld, there was no soup for you, no headaches for you. 954-966-4646. All right. Let's see. Lions just out everything the Dolphins for 2 hours out here. As lopsided a joint NFL practice as I've ever seen, says Nick Baumgartner from The Athletic. Oh, man. It's so nice to see these kind of comments, huh? Jesus. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, not that it's surprising, but you want something so you can feel better about, your team. But there is something out there you guys can feel better about with your team. And that's because the Panther season is right around the corner also. And that will, it starts October, right? Don't the real games start like in late October or some shit like that? I think it's like middle October, late October is when the hockey season starts. So we're good, man. We'll get hockey season in October, and we will start to follow the boys for a third Stanley Cup Finals. October 7th. Wow, early. Even better. By week 4 or 5 of the regular season, the Panthers start. By the end of the month, the Dolphins are out of the playoffs, and you can just continue to follow the Panthers. But if you're a Canes fan, you're saved there because our Canes are going to be good this year. It's going to be fun. Yes, sir.
Opening night will be on ESPN with the raising of the championship banner, and they'll take on the Chicago Blackhawks.
Love it. No, you're talking about the appearance is one thing. No, third straight win, buddy. Forget 4 straight final. No, third straight Stanley Cup win. That's what we're going for. We're not talking about just appearances now anymore. We need to win it, baby. Like Sinnott to win it. What was Sinnott's first name? Huh? Reed Sinnott. He is Sinnott to win it, baby. Reed Sinnott to win it. I missed that guy. Let's bring him back. He'll take us to the promised land. Anyway, who's not coming back? Reed Sinnott. Where is he? Isn't he on some team? Wasn't he on like a practice squad right now? Or well, not practice squad, but like a backup quarterback somewhere?
No, he is the quarterback for the Madrid Bravos of the European League of Football.
Wow.
So he might be over there in case of emergency. The Dolphins could phone him up.
So we're going to see him in a couple of months.
Yeah.
In a couple of months, I'm going to get to hang out with Reed Sinnott to win it. That'll be awesome, dude. I'll be hanging out with the Madrid boys. I'll be out there. That's fun, man. Can't wait to meet Spanish Dolphin fans out there in Madrid. Of course, I'm going to meet American fans that are going to go over like I am, but I can't wait to meet like fans that live there and passionately follow the Dolphins. That's some cool shit. Wait. What's Sinnott to win it?
Reed Sinnott has a nickname in Madrid.
Sinnott para ganar.
Air Reed.
Oh, Air Reed.
He holds the European League of Football record books for yards thrown, 3,594.
You know, when you're Sinnott to win it, you're going to break records.
Yeah, he broke the last one, which was in 2023 by the Rain Fire's Jadrian Clark. I thought it was Judge Adrian.
Problem is that, you know, they just didn't give Reed Sinnott a real opportunity here.
Oh, hold up. You know who liked this photo?
Who? Tua.
Devontae Parker.
Devontae Parker. Oh, he was always Sinnott to win it.
He's trying to get over to Madrid, too.
That's it. Devontae trying to get one more year in. Love it. Reed Sinnott to win it. Fantastic. Oh, man. A little Dennis Green, yes. He is who we thought he was. That's right. That's right. What'd you get now? See? Oh, look at that. Behind the back and everything for Reed Sinnott. Wow. Reed Sinnott to win it. He's throwing like behind the back passes and shit. That is great. Go to Reed Sinnott's Instagram, apparently. Look at that. Sinnott to win it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Do I think they'll sign another corner? Of course they will. They'll sign a corner. They'll sign an offensive lineman. Will they be any good? As I said yesterday, they've had 3 roster spots that they've had to fill. They filled one with a substitute teacher, which is one of the running backs that came in yesterday. Shamklin is a substitute teacher. A failed rapper in Waller. And another guy in Myrick who wasn't in football for 3 years. You want me to take this serious? I get it if you already bought season tickets or you already bought your plane tickets for road trips and all that, and you're committed and you want to try to convince yourself of otherwise. But I can't take any of this serious, dude. I just can't. You know what's funny is listening to people over the off season trying to talk up Zach Wilson like something that, could be a project or, well, this is somebody they really want. It's Zach Wilson. It's Zach Wilson. Come on. Had another shitty practice today. I mean, he is who he is. It's not going to change. And you have the wrong person that's actually when any chance to mold him. Mike McDaniel, are you out of your mind? Yes, sir.
Chop Robinson on his Instagram stories. I'm good, y'all. Nothing serious.
There we go.
So, again, I'm hoping he sent that, not somebody from Dolphins PR's like, watch this.
No, they don't do that. They don't do that. No, but that's cool. That's great.
Yeah. So Chop and Gus, thanks for sending it over. And then I went to his Instagram and double-checked to make sure.
Okay, so there you go. So on his IG, he said things are all right. We're good. I like it. So as long as Chop says it's nothing serious, we're good, man. We're good. I like it. That's fantastic news. It is fantastic news. That is one that makes you feel really good. By the way, please smash the hell out of the like button. You guys right now, because of the people that have come and left, you could easily get us to 200 right now because there's easily 29 of you that have not hit the like button. But if you would be so kind right now to hit that like button, 29 of you that haven't, deep down inside, we're working hard here for you guys every day for the last 5+ years. Hit that like button. Get us to 200 right now. You guys could do it. I'm telling you. We'll be good. We'll be really good. That is awesome. Man, and beautiful from Chop. All right. What else do we have going on? Dale duro el like button. That's exactly it, Ray Rod. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you. All of you out there, as always. All right. We're out of here. We thank the great Herbie Lopez. As always, we thank Sean Stanley. Tomorrow, we are back in studio, 10 a.m. Next, and Friday, too. We're also in studio. But next week is a busy week. Next week, we're going to be at Subaru of Pembroke Pines on Wednesday. We'll be at Hialeah Park on Tuesday, like we are now every Tuesdays. And Friday, we'll be at Caneswear. Correct? So next week, we have 3 appearances. Hialeah Park Tuesday. Subaru of Pembroke Pines on Wednesday, and Caneswear on Friday. All right. We thank Mr. Zinn, of course. We thank, of course, Herbie Lopez. Does a great job running the show. You know what? Did I get an answer from Herbie on that? I did not, actually. So unfortunately, I don't have that answer yet on the new 70 series. When he gets it to me, I'll probably have that answer for you tomorrow. He could be in a meeting or some stuff like that, as always. Anyway, we shall see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a great one.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.